It says that I said too much. I bite my tongue. It's overflowing. Me and you can swim to the surface. When this gets so heavy, it's getting too hard to carry. Guess I'm just too much. But don't say a no-brainer. When did this get so heavy, heavy? It's getting too hard to carry, carry. Guess I'm just too much. But don't say a no-brainer. I'm not alright, and I know you didn't ask. Said more than I meant, than I meant to. I'm sorry, I'm just going through life. And baby, it's not you. When it is get so heavy, it's getting too hard to carry. Guess I'm just too much. But don't say a no-brainer. When did this get so heavy, heavy? It's getting too hard to carry, carry. Guess I'm just too much. But don't say a no-brainer. It's just heavy, heavy, heavy. It's just heavy, heavy, heavy. I don't wanna be another news story. Gone too soon. Oh, you seem so happy. I don't wanna be another news story. Gone too soon. Oh, you seem so happy. When did this get so heavy? Yeah, it's getting too hard to carry. When did this get so heavy, heavy? It's getting too hard to carry, carry. Guess I'm just too much. But don't say a no-brainer. It's just heavy, heavy, heavy. It's just heavy. It's just heavy, heavy, heavy. It's just heavy.
Please, Mama, that was so heavy. That was so heavy, folks. I fell through the floor, into the basement, through the basement, into the earth's core and back. Damn right, son. That was pretty heavy, you say. And I agree. That was Heavy by Joshua, a song off his brand new EP. As of recording, only a day old. It's called Albany or Albany. I'm not quite sure the pronunciation. I've heard that town being pronounced many ways, but maybe I can get the man himself to enlighten me on said pronunciation, because I'm very happy to have Joshua all the way from WA, interrupted his lunch, to come and chat to us, so you better feel fucking thankful about it. Joshua, welcome to the show. Welcome to Bar Talk. How you going? What you doing? And tell me how to pronounce your bloody EP.
Hello. Hi. I am great. I have just had lunch.
It's bulking season, so I hear.
It is. It is definitely bulking season. We're moving into winter. We've got to get ready. No, just had lunch. We're ready to go. And Albany is the answer to your question.
Albany. Okay, cool. Ding, ding,
Yeah.
ding. Okay, who had that on the board, right? Bingo. Pronunciation bingo. See, I've explained this a few times to a few different artists because we have this habit of mispronouncing everything. And partially it's because of us, because we are just off the rails in terms of knowing what the hell's going on out there. We're like in our own bubble, essentially. But I partially put that down to not enough pronunciations on the press releases. And I put this down. It seems to be an industry-wide thing, Joshua, so I'm not pushing this on you or anybody you've worked with at all. It's definitely an industry-wide problem. And I'm going to be taking this up with APRA at the end. I'm going to be saying I'm going to make it a legal requirement that pronunciations for every song title and every EP or album and every artist's name be put on every single press release. So that way we'll never, ever come across this problem before. We'll never come across this problem again, I think.
I love it. I definitely know some artists who would love that. They would be like, yes, I should definitely put that in my press release.
Yeah. I think it's a good idea. And if anybody disagrees with me, well, this is not your show. Joshua, Albany is a great record. Well done. Just want to say,
thank you so much.
Good job. Good job. This is, correct me if I'm wrong, this is your first EP, isn't it?
It is.
Good.
It's my first little baby.
It's must be very satisfying to have it out now, finally, in the world.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I mean, some of those songs I've sat on for like 2 or 3 years, and so it's pretty just it's super great. To like finally have them out of like my head and like out of my iTunes and out there for other people to hear. So because I've been talking about this for a little bit and just putting my money where my mouth is and going, no, I've done this. This is my thing.
Hopefully after enough circulation, you'll be putting your mouth where your money is, you know?
I'm down with that too.
Kissing them $100 bills, y'all.
To give up the day job? Yes. I'm so ready for that. It's not funny.
Spend more time bulking season, eh? This is for those. I lost him already. It's only 5 minutes in. For those of you who weren't around when we were, doing the pre-interview stuff, which is everyone else, we were talking about bulking season before and how in my humble opinion, bulking season is just an excuse for people that go to the gym to eat any kind of rubbish food. So it's like the random season that just has no time, just pops up any time in the year. And I said that because you were having lunch with your gym buddies, weren't you? Your gym mates.
Yeah.
What's
all
up?
The gym fam.
Is grilled chicken really? Okay, here's a random food question. Grilled chicken. I've been told that's the go-to good protein, good healthy, bulking, whatever gym food if you want to build muscle. Grilled chicken. Is that right or is that bullshit?
I mean, it depends what you're eating with, I guess. But if it's on its own, then and you want to be really boring and just grill chicken and eat it by itself, I mean, all power to you. But I use like spices and
bit of just grilled chicken flavor. Don't even cook it. Just eat it raw. Just by itself.
Eat it
no
raw.
Seasoning, no salad.
That's like
nothing.
Pure protein. That's all you need.
No, when I think of grilled chicken, I think okay, we're going to put it on a bed of rocket, and then drizzle it with a bit of like a grilled chicken salad.
Oh man, I mean, I'll eat it mostly, like, for like lunches at work and stuff. But, that's because I've just cut it all up and shoved it in a container so I have something to eat when I'm there.
So it's really just convenience food then, isn't it?
Honestly, yeah. It's convenience food. Salad packs from Coles, chicken. I use chicken thighs because I can't deal with chicken breast because it's too dry and it's too hard to cook it right.
Oh.
So chicken thighs is where I'm at.
Sister, I hear ya. Chicken thigh is all the way. All the way. And breast is not best, despite what the advertisement campaign says. It is not the
100%.
best. I'm sorry.
100%.
Whoever came up with that deserves to be slapped across the forehead. That was stupid. It was probably to sell more chicken breasts because us people that are beyond the are beyond Plato's cave in the real world of
Yeah.
everybody else, all the dumb normies are in Plato's cave getting shown pictures of the breast is best. Ah ha ha! How funny innuendo. Yet we're out of the cave in the real world, going, it's just too dry.
Yeah, it's so dry. It's
apparently
ridiculous.
Macca's-
I don't know why people do it.
Apparently, places that actually serve chicken breast to keep it moist, you have to pump it full of water. Otherwise, it's just so dry.
That's so true. Oh my goodness.
Apparently, Macca's does that. They do it. They're like any of their meats. They have to pump it full of water because it's just so dry. Because I think it's just all dehydrated. Just you keep it for longer.
Oh, it scares me. I don't do Macca's in general. Just like not necessarily for health reasons, just for taste reasons as well.
It's just just only for bulking season. Macca's.
If you can eat bread and cheese, go for it. But it's not on my list of things I can eat. So unfortunately,
Probably not necessarily a bad thing.
no, that's what I tell people. They're like, is that really helpful? And I'm like, you know what? Actually, it kind of is, because I would eat so much pasta and ice cream. It's not funny.
So you're not a pasta person. So you're not a pasta person or an ice cream person either.
Well, I mean, now that we have developed into foods that are edible and don't have wheat and dairy and aren't stupidly overpriced, we're all good. Like Ben & Jerry's have like this really great dairy-free range that's so good it's not funny. And like the Magnum have brought out their own dairy-free and they still taste like real ice cream, so I'm not missing out. I don't get sad because it tastes like crap. It doesn't. They taste really good, and it makes me so happy.
You're now the spokespersoning for Magnum now, are you?
I mean, if they want to sponsor me, I'm not going to say no. Just give me all the dairy-free ones. Send them to my house. I'll be fine.
Just plenty of samples.
We're bulking season all year.
Was it Streets that make them, or is it the other one? There was a Dear Streets or whatever. It's bulking season. Send me free EBs.
Yeah. I mean, sign me up. Where do I sign?
Let's talk about the EP because as much as I love shitting on bulking season, it's it's EP season with Joshua.
It is 100% EP season for Joshua.
For those of you who have short memories, he has just released Albany. Sorry, I'm already getting the pronunciation mixed up again. Albany,
but you're learning, and that's what's important.
I'm getting there. Come on. Yeah. Give me a break. Albany is, of course, the new EP by Joshua, which is out now. I mean, you were going on before about how you're very, very grateful to finally have it out there.
Oh my goodness, yes.
But what was it like holding on to some of those songs for so long? Because you said 2-ish years since you've written some of them. Was that on purpose? Was it purposefully done where you had waited and held on to the songs, or was it just pure coincidence and pure circumstance that meant that you had to hold on to them for so long?
I think a bit of both. I put out some songs a couple of years ago, and really wanted to, after I'd done that, wanted to focus on my writing and my production skills and my artistry. So I really knuckled down and worked on those. So I wasn't really writing for specifically for releases or anything. I was just working on my songwriting because I was like, I need to be a good songwriter. I love songwriting. Songwriting's like so much fun. Yeah. And it's I got because of COVID, everything's shutting down. A lot of producers went online, and so I was just like, oh, that's really cool. And M Squared, who I've been following for a little while, and I was a really big fan of Michael Payne's "Love the Fall" back in 2010. Your 17-year-old me was screaming that one at the top of his lungs. So I was in my moment, and they had this opportunity, and I rocked up and over Zoom, and we made Jump. I already had Jump written, but like we tweaked some of the verses so that they sounded better and they ran better with into the chorus, and rejigged the pre, and then they took the vocals and built that super amazing production around it, and they sent it back to me, and I was 6 a.m. my time when I got it, and I'd just woken up getting ready for work, and I just lay on my bed and just had it on repeat for like the whole hour. I was so stoked with how it sounded, and like I didn't like that wasn't even that old.
I was going to say, were the people that you were living with kind of pissed off at that point? It's like, stop putting that on repeat. We heard it the first time.
Stop it. Well, I've had the joy of living on my own for the last couple of years, so it's all good. I don't have to annoy housemates. It's just me. It's great.
Well, hey, at least there's no pissing offs of the housemates that way. I was going to say, how was it like handling? I suppose I keep thinking, how was it like handling lockdown? You guys had a fuck all lockdown. I'm so jealous.
Well, down in Albany, we were literally locked down. Our only lockdown was the 4 weeks. Like the very, very start when the whole country was locked down.
Yeah.
And then that was it. We had WA had a lockdown at the start of the year, the first week of February, but that's it. We've been super fortunate. It's been pretty great. Not gonna lie. Sorry, I don't mean to rub it in, but
Yeah. Tell us a bit, because obviously the name's taken from your name, the sake of your hometown. Or is it your hometown, or are you're not from Albany? No,
I'm from Mandurah, which is an hour south of Perth. And I moved down to Albany for a job last year, and I wrote all these songs, and then a friend of mine who I was having some like songwriting mentoring sessions with, she was like, why don't you make like an EP? Well, actually, no, backtracking. Because I was living in Albany and because of COVID, Regional Arts WA put together all these grants, and I applied for one of them and I got it. So I was able to fund making new songs and like getting them like properly produced and like ready for release and like making them real schmicko. And then my friend was like, why don't you just make it into an EP? Like, make it into a body of work. Is there a through line that runs through all these songs? And I was like, well, I wrote them all while I was here in Albany. And I liked that idea. And I think I might build on that. Like, it might be really cool to have like a little trilogy of EPs based on like where I am. Like, I'm living in Mandurah at the moment. So I think I'm going to work towards like another one, like just going to be a Mandurah EP. And then I want to hopefully move to Sydney in the next year or so. And like that could be the next one. It'd be like a Sydney EP. And just have like this like trilogy of locations. Like, feels like it's a good idea. So
all right, so you're just going to have to force yourself to move each time you want to make another record.
Every release, move somewhere. Done. It's the rest of my life.
Oh, in that case, then you're going to have to start looking for really aesthetically pleasing names, so they actually work as EP titles. Because I mean, no offense to Mandurah, but doesn't quite roll off the tongue the same way as Albany.
It's true, and people are going to pronounce it Mandurah for so long. It's not funny.
Well, I'm going to say, is anybody like, how would the Americans pronounce it? That's going to be the real problem. Oh, yeah, it's very true. It would definitely be Mandurah for them, I think. Yeah. Because we do have a letter in MANDU. No one uses the U. It's just Mandurah. That's how we pronounce it. We just forget that there's a whole extra vowel right in the middle. We don't care for it, but no, we don't need it. It's Mandurah. Mandurah. Yeah. Bogan accent and everything. Tell me a bit about your producers, because they weren't obviously, because you talked about how you could work together online with your producers. So whereabouts were they all located? Because I noticed you worked with a few different ones on this record.
So M Squared produced all the tracks,
Yeah.
and they're based in Melbourne. So Michael Painter and Michael De Laurentiis. And we literally, it was just over Zoom. I had all the songs ready to go, and I played them a bunch of demos, and they were like, "Oh, this one's good. Let's do this one. I like this one. Let's switch out this one." And they built tracks from their end, and they sent them to me, and I was like, "Yeah, these are really cool." Or maybe change this bit or this bit, and then we did all the recording sessions because I've got a little recording set up at home just for. I mean, at the time it was just for demos, and I managed to borrow a good mic off a friend.
Yep.
And just recorded it all at home, just over Zoom.
Nice.
It's amazing. Like, yeah, I'm pretty stoked. I mean, I'm obviously love to be physically in the studio doing it and like, being all vibey and in person and stuff. But, we made it work, and I couldn't be happier with how it all sounds and how it all ended up. I was like, oh my goodness.
I was going to say, you wouldn't have probably thought about doing it that way before last year as well, just with, because you talked about how it suddenly had become possible to do it. So this wouldn't have probably crossed your mind at all to do it all online.
No, it was just all there. We just had to make sure. I mean, the time difference was a bit fun. Like, I was recording at 7 o'clock in the morning because it was, 9, 10 o'clock Melbourne time. Depending, we had some daylight savings jump overs and stuff. And so I had to like get up early and make sure my voice was warm and ready to go for 7:30. But no, it was a bit of a dream come true, really.
Don't tell me you were doing vocal takes at that time of the morning.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. The last song I took the morning off work. And because it was like the first week back, and we'd finished by 9 a.m. my time.
Well, how do you get your voice ready at that time in the morning? Because normally you're like, wake up, it smells like I've been smoking cigarettes all night, Like, what kind of routine do you have to put your voice through to get it ready at that time of the morning?
Well, it's lemon. I mean, a quick coffee and breakfast beforehand, because you need to make sure that you're, sustained and awake.
Coffee.
And then,
I suppose to be awake. Yeah, I was going to say, lucky you don't have dairy, because
yeah, that's it, my friends. These are the perks of my life at the moment. I say it's not a problem. I don't have to worry about dairy and singing because I can't eat it. It's fine. I can drink my coffee before I sing, and I'm fine. But I sang at my church for a couple years, and Sunday morning we had practice started at 8, and so you'd be up and warming up, and it's like middle of winter. It's like super cold, and so you just had to learn how to warm up your voice in those sorts of conditions, and it took a bit longer, but I think that really helped in the end because I just got up. I have a playlist on my phone of just like little vocal warm-ups, and it's like sort of like my vocal homework that my vocal coach gives me, and I do those, and then I'm good to go. It takes me a couple takes, and then like once you've settled into the track and you're in it mentally, then just run it.
So just coffee and good vocal warm-ups. I'll have to make a note of that.
Yeah. Oh, and like a lemon and honey.
Oh, okay.
While you're in the session, of course. Of course. You're not I don't know if you're are you a real singer if you don't have water, lemon and honey in the studio with you while you're recording? Isn't the standard practice?
No, my standard practice is 2 Panadol and a fucking Canadian Club neat. Just lines of throat and numbs any sort of pain there. Oh, wait, that's more for sore throats. So don't recommend this, guys. This is coming from a guy that
sounds super healthy.
This is coming from a guy that that wrecks his throat on the weekends. Won't go into more detail about that, but yeah, he's thinking if you got a sore throat and you need to sing 2 Panadol and a nip of whiskey, and you'll be fine. It probably won't help the throat, but you won't feel a thing, so it doesn't matter.
You won't feel a thing.
And that got me
love it.
through 2019. 2019, I had a terrible, terrible flu, and I couldn't perform at all for about a month and a half. And then I managed to get. Well, I had to play one gig because I was supporting a friend's launch. I was like, oh, do I cut out of this? It's like, nah, I'm a man. Got to man up. Gotta fuck that sore throat. Fuck you. Fuck what's probably better for you. I just won't sing anything high. I'll sing everything low, an octave lower, and I'll have the Panadol, 2 Panadol and a whiskey. Thank you very much.
Sorted.
Yep.
Standard practice.
Dram works well for that, as well as Dubliner. FYI, if you're taking tips off me, if you're not writing notes, because it's got the honey in it. So if it's a honeycomb flavored whiskey liqueur, even better.
As long as the honey's in there, you're good to go.
Yeah. I tried a hot toddy around that same time as well, because thinking, how can I get drunk and avoid a hot sore throat? Ugh, yuck, never having that again.
Oh,
disgusting. Yeah. No,
not on my to-do list, so you've just proved my point.
Yeah, no, it's like I know. I was like, well, I'll get rid of that. Dodge that bullet. I was going to say the vocals really do stand out as a fixture on the record. So I must say, good job on that too.
Oh, thank you so much. I've been working a lot with my vocal coach over the last 2.5 years, and I'm pretty stoked with how things ended up sounding, and it's also really good to have a producer who is also a singer and knows how to coach you through takes, like have them vocal produce you and be like, oh, try that again, but this time do this instead, and we'll see how that sounds, and then we'll stack this and this and this, and it's going to sound like this. And that was really, really great, because I think in the past I haven't really had producers who are also singers or have like experience with vocal coaching you through different takes. And yeah, Painter was amazing through that. And yeah, I think he pulled some things out of my voice that I didn't know I could do, which is really cool. I love learning like new ways to use my voice, and like experimenting it with a little bit more in what I'm writing now because of what we achieved in those sessions.
So you reckon it's really just added that extra bit of something, having that someone who is both experienced in vocals and producing to really kick your vocals into the next gear?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Hands down. Yeah. Like my favorite recording experience.
What I guess is something that you would find in the recording process that you're not overly familiar with, or you really got to let the producer take direction on? Is there a sort of particular area of that process that you really got to let them take control because you're maybe not too sure about how things work in that sense? Or are you pretty across the board? Are you pretty much across the board with everything involved with that?
In terms of singing or like building the track as well?
Just anything involved with the recording and producing process, I guess.
Well, I started like teaching myself how to use Ableton like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And so all my demos are built sort of around that. So I have a good idea of like what I want it to sound like. I don't necessarily have the skills to like build it to what I can hear in my brain. So I think there are definitely songs on there that have like a little bit of my production in there, like Never Been in Love. Some of those sounds were from my demo, so they've taken those and use those in the final production, which is really cool. The other ones like Fanboy, I didn't necessarily have much of a track built out for that one. And I think just the nature of the song and what we talked about and how we recorded it, or how we talked about it to start with, they just went to town. And I was just like, yeah, I mean, the song sounds a little bit creepy, so pull in some weird sounds. And they came back and was like, yeah, we pulled this reference from like FKA Twigs and then this other one from Marilyn Manson. And I was like, oh my goodness. And then the production on Fanboy is my favorite one on the EP, because there's so many like little bits in there that create like this whole slightly creepy atmosphere that we were going for. I mean, the song is about being obsessed with someone. So yeah, I think I have a good idea of like what I want, and so yeah, just letting them build off that.
Did you find that there was quite a lot of elements that you hadn't thought about that ended up being on the final product, or was it largely the vision that you anticipated when you went into the recording process?
A bit of both. I think there were some cool things that we did vocally that I hadn't really thought of doing, just in terms of like adding layers and little ad-libby sections and sort of like additional background vocals that weren't just harmonies, which I thought was really cool, like little embellishments here and there. I really loved learning about that and getting to do it, and hearing how they approached building those sorts of soundscapes. And I've started incorporating it now into my writing, and I'm loving it. I feel a little bit Ariana Grande doing it, which is great. It's just like, yeah, just comparing myself to Ariana Grande. That's fine.
I was gonna. We were joking about this before the interview about like, don't talk about influences. But here I am going to say, are you hang on? You know how like you have you have like people like we have people who are fans of Justin Bieber, they're believers, or people who are Taylor Swift fans, they're called Swifties or whatever you call them. I don't know. I can't remember. I'm not too good with or Directioners, like One Direction.
Yeah.
Is there like are you an Arianite or whatever they call them?
And it's an Arianator.
And is that what they call them?
Yeah.
An Arianator.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely, hands down. What she can pull off with her voice is insane. Yeah, insane. Not even just like high notes and the stuff that people generally tend to celebrate, but like just all her whole technique and everything. Yeah, my vocal coach and I sit there and talk about different songs of hers in like random sessions and pick them apart and how she did particular things. And yeah, it's really cool.
Did you say you
Big fan of what she does?
Wait, who was it? You and the producer? Did you say that just picking apart the songs?
Vocal coach.
Oh, your vocal coach, right?
My vocal coach. Yeah.
Nice. Just go.
Yeah. Whenever if I do something funny, or we have this joke, she'll call me Ariana and I'll call her Mariah.
Okay. Okay.
She'll be like, okay, Ariana, and I'm like, oh, okay, sorry.
So is their hero Mariah? Who did you say you call him? Mariah.
Mariah. Oh, it's just, Ariana Grande's hero is Mariah Carey.
Oh, right. I was going to say. I thought you said Mariah. I was like, oh, maybe your vocal coach's hero is Mariah Carey. I don't know. Are they? Like, is that their guilty pleasure artist?
I don't know, actually. She's definitely an Ariana Grande fan, though. I know that for sure.
Well, who's your guilty pleasure?
I mean, I love me some Justin Bieber.
Okay, so you are a bit of a believer.
Yeah, his new album is insanely good.
But were you a believer from the start, or are you like a tag on since he changed his style?
I mean, a bit of both. I think I really started paying attention with his Journals album, and I think that one was just a bit more mature. I mean, I think we're about the same age anyway. So when he was releasing Baby, I was still in high school, and so I was still in the sort of perception of Justin Bieber. But you know what? We're now all like late 20s and Baby comes on and we all sing it at the top of our lungs anyway. So, I mean, what are you going to do?
So you were a bit of a closet Bieber fan back in the day by the sounds of it. You had to, yeah, okay. You would just say publicly deny it, but, in private.
It's true. Man, back then it was a mixed bag. Like, Fall Out Boy were doing their thing and Paramore. I was like, oh, this is really cool. But then like Lady Gaga and Rihanna were really going off and I really loved what they were doing as well. So, I was definitely the weird kid in high school.
So did you have a goth phase then?
I didn't.
Okay.
Thankfully.
So you didn't get too close to the hair dye, the black hair dye and the...
No, we did go through a blonde tip stage.
Oh, well,
that hopefully will never see the light of day again.
most kids did in that decade.
Yeah, right. Oh my goodness.
My mum wouldn't let me near that stuff, so no, it wasn't ever going to happen. But then one friend of mine said once, "No, Daniel, you got to get the blonde tips." It's like, no, that sounds disgusting.
My mum did it. My mum did it for me. So
okay.
there you go.
Okay.
Had the cap and the crochet hook, and I sat there and got my head stabbed.
Was she actually relatively competent at it?
Oh yeah. Crushed it.
Frosted tips brings back a very specific time.
Yeah, 100%. Oh my goodness.
Was that your weirdest phase in terms of hairstyles? Was it?
Yeah. I think I did it when I was about like 12 and 13, and then I didn't for a while, and then I did it again in year 12.
Mm-hmm.
And so my year 12 ball photos, that's the look. So just there it is.
So it is what it is.
But I haven't done it since.
Is it in the school photos for that year? Because so your official, year 12 senior photo.
No.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it had grown out and been chopped off by then.
Ah, shame.
Because our ball was like third week of first term or something.
I feel like that's a terribly wasted opportunity there, Joshua.
I don't know. I think maybe I saved myself.
Speaking of vanilla.
Later ridicule. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, speaking of vanilla, go for nothing fancy with the hairstyle for your year photo.
No, just straight down the line. Played it safe.
I see, because you very lovely corrected me before. You only did have one main producer on there, but I see you worked with a couple of other people as well with the recording process. Cam Naxon and Rahel Phillips, sorry.
Rahel.
Rahel. I'm mispronouncing everything. So what was their roles with the record?
So Rahel is actually my vocal coach.
Oh, okay.
And I was starting to send her just like demos and stuff that I was working on, and because she's a songwriter, singer, artist in her own right as well. So it was really cool to have someone willing to listen to what I was doing and give me some feedback. And she helped me restructure what I'd done for Never Been in Love. So she helped me co-write that. And then because of COVID, again, I think I'd like to thank COVID for sponsoring my EP. Cam Naxon is based over in Sydney, and he went online, and he's worked with some of my favourite artists in terms of like writing and producing and also playing in their live band. And he started doing some like online sessions, just like weekly, fortnightly lessons really, on songwriting. He jumped on and helped me tweak up a bit of Never Been in Love. And then we wrote You Make Me Want to Break Things together, actually, in one of our lessons. But yeah, that's Rahel and Cam are super amazing. I love both of them so much. It's not funny.
What was it like doing that co-writing remotely compared to some of the songs you may have done by yourself?
Well, they were. I don't really know. I haven't done anything in person co-writing, so it's my only experience doing it. But I loved it. It was so good. I mean, I've never met them in person yet. I'm going to make my way over east at some point, hopefully this year.
Yeah. Hopefully, yeah, being the key word.
Yeah, hopefully being the key word. But no, it didn't faze me at all, really. I'm pretty adjustable that way.
So you found it was pretty easy to transition to opening up to have that collaborative workspace going, was it?
Yeah, I mean, to start, Rahel and I already had that like friendship going anyway, so it was just building on that. And Cam's super easygoing, and we get on really, really well, like right from the start. So once we got in there, we yeah, it's just like, writing songs with friends. So it was pretty crazy, just over the internet rather than in person.
Fair enough. Yeah. I was going to say, it just makes me think, words with friends. You never actually play with friends, do you? It's just with randoms on the internet.
Well, I mean, I kept it insular, and I only did it with like my friends and family. I'm not a jump onto the internet with random people kind of a person. My mum never let me on MSN. I had one MSN friend, and it was one of my good school friends, and that was the only person I had on MSN. I wasn't allowed to talk to strangers or do any of those sorts of things. So I don't know if that built something up in me where I'm just like, I'm not going to write with random people just yet.
You got to wonder whether she was trying to hold back the inevitable or whether it was intentional. You go, well, you're going to have enough of that shit when you're older. Maybe
it's definitely maybe more discerning about who I open up to and talk to about different things.
This got incredibly deep really quick. It's like, self-reflecting on whether my MSN access has influenced me as a person who doesn't get intimate enough with enough people than maybe I should.
That's
why my songs are insecure.
Now, isn't there? Childhood influences on adult behavior.
Yeah, we're just going into the whole, it's like a psychological argument, whether it's, it's environment versus, nurture versus nature. Come on.
Man, I love that stuff, so I'm all around it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Let's dissect it a bit more. I just realized before too, I mucked up the order too that we were going to play the songs. Now, I said we came off heavy, and which we did, and we were going to play that last. Because we were going to talk about it. Well, you were going to talk about it because it was one of your favorites. So speaking of getting in depth, tell me about heavy. Yeah, because I was wondering how I was going to just cram it in. Like, this is going to be so jarring because just then it's me like, I fucked up. Let's do this instead.
Good work. I appreciate how you've navigated these waters. Well done.
Yeah, call me captain, eh?
Yeah, call me captain.
Captain Daniel.
Captain Daniel.
Aye. Heavy, talking about opening up. Heavy, you said, was one of your favourites on the record. Tell me why, because is there something about the theme going on there that you really sort of connected with maybe once you had put it all down, or what's going on there that you really liked?
I think it's probably the most vulnerable song on the record for me. Because I went through mental health has been a big thing for me for the last couple of years, and I went through a really rough patch at the start of last year. I moved to a new town. I didn't know anybody. My mental health wasn't great in the beginning, and so it all just kind of went a bit crazy. And I found myself telling people that I'd literally just met that I wasn't doing okay, and just the look in their face, just like, I barely know you. Why are you telling me these things?
I'm not your therapist.
Yeah, pretty much. And then that image actually started the song for me, and that's where that first line comes from. And it started out as another song called I think it was initially called "Talk Too Much." Yeah, and then I was just like, I feel like that's not quite right. And then the word "heavy" had been going around in my brain because it was just really tough to like motivate myself to do things, and simple things like cleaning my house or like doing the dishes. I mean, we all hate doing those things anyway, but it got to just a really bad point, and I was like, I need to get it out of my system. And yeah, that's where it came from initially. Yeah, because I don't know. I think it kind of, just being really honest, it kind of really scared me how sad I could get.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't want it to get worse. So I was like, I need to be honest about how bad I'm feeling. Otherwise, I'll end up being, not in a not great place. So
was that largely what you reckon pulled you out of it, or was there some other things that you reckon helped you get out of that mind space?
I mean, we've talked about bulking and stuff. I'm really passionate about
bulking season.
Bulking.
It's the answer to everything.
Season. But like how
point noted, Joshua. Every time somebody tells me I'm depressed, I'm just going to go bulking season.
Bulking season done.
What are you doing here? Sack your therapist. It's bulking season time.
Oh my goodness.
Macca's drive-through. Who's in? No.
Oh my goodness! But
imagine if I said that instead of that answer. If I used my method for sore throats, I'm depressed. Nah, 2 Panadol and a whiskey, you'll be fine.
Oh man, that's the wrong answer.
Yeah. It's like that only works in some context, not depression.
This is not an all-purpose remedy.
Side effects may vary wildly.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
But in all seriousness, back to your question.
I built up some really good friendships while I was living in Albany. So I think I just ended up just talking more openly and honestly with those guys. And it taught me a lot, like how much having good friendships and like how valuable they are. And being able to feel safe enough to talk about someone without them, like about how you're feeling with someone, without them going, oh my goodness, I don't want to hear this, or why are you talking to me about this? They just sit there and like they take it and they're like, okay. And they give you space, or they give you the time of day. They pull you out. Sometimes, like I had friends, I had a COVID test. So I had to like stay locked down. And like they went and like did my shopping for me and stuff like that, which I was just like, oh my goodness, it's so good to have super amazing people to open up to.
So what you're saying is the real Albany was the friends we made along the way.
100%. I mean, it really, not gonna lie, I can't. It really is.
I wanted to make that joke. As soon as you said that, I was like, oh, I can't not get away with this.
Well, you did it, and I appreciate it. It was glorious. It was well received.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure. Anytime.
So do you reckon inadvertently your just openness actually led to you making those solid friendships that helped you get out of that rut, so to speak?
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe just fine tune it a bit. It's maybe instead of, asking them, maybe just instead of blurting out when you first meet them, how you going, buy them a drink first. They feel obliged to listen to what you're saying, then say how shit life is. Yeah.
You got to build the foundation first, and then you've got to show them what they're actually dealing with.
Yeah.
And then they're like, I can't get out of this now. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And that's where the 2 Panadol and whiskey comes in. You have that first. Well, either you can split it up. You have the Panadol yourself to numb the pain. You give them the whiskey to butter them up, so to speak. Or if you really want to go double the dosage, give yourself 4 pills. Give them 1 whiskey. Oh
my god!
I'm not a doctor, guys, and
my mum's a nurse, and so is my brother, and I can just feel them dying in the back of my brain. It's like, oh my goodness.
All right, just full disclosure, I'm not a nurse and or a doctor, and if you really want help, please go and call, or if you want someone to chat to, 13 11 14, which is a lifeline number.
Yeah.
But yes,
absolutely.
Don't try that at home.
Oh my
God. Stick to the fucking dosage. There's a reason for it. I'm talking to Joshua. He's just released Albany, his EP. We've dissected how it's really a reflection of his mental state and how he came out of a rut. Well, that's what I'm getting off it.
That is exactly the overarching theme.
Is that
nailed it?
Is that what I'm trying to? Is that what you're trying to do? Is that the aim of it? Have we actually just gotten to the bottom of it inadvertently?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Damn right. That's what I do.
Love it.
I love that.
You do it so well.
Where do you want to live next? was going to say, there's one place you mentioned you want to do Mandra or Mandra as your next EP. Fair enough. But what's the third EP? What's the trilogy? If this is your, if Mandra is going to be your Empire Strikes Back, what's your Return of the Jedi?
Well, I'm thinking Sydney at the moment because it just seems to be where everybody is at the moment, and like all the producers that I want to work with are over there. And I've had a couple sessions with like another Sydney producer and a co-writer, and they're both over there. A lot of my favorite artists at the moment are there, and they're in this big friendship group, which is really great. But I think that definitely seems to be where I'm headed next.
Are you ironing off the suburbs that sound the best so you can get a good name for an EP? Because you're going to just like go, or you're going to name it Randwick or Glebe or Woolloomooloo. It's like, is there a, or Bondi? I don't know. Is there a, like, you're just like picking off these suburbs of where you want to go to try and find out, okay, what's going to sound really good as an EP title?
I hadn't gone there. I was just going for the overall city.
Okay. So you're just going to name it Sydney.
Probably, because Albany's a city, Mandra's a city, and Sydney's a city. We've got to keep the consistency going. It's all about consistency.
Fair enough. Do you think you're going to try and find a consistency with the themes as well, or is it just going to be a case of whatever comes into your head at the time?
Yeah, probably a mixture. I definitely want to experiment a bit more and like try write different topics than I normally do, and then other ones there are things that I want to write about that I haven't figured out how to write about them yet. Like I'm really interested in like masculinity and like Western sort of perceptions of that, and what we see as manly and what we don't, and like why we might see them that way, and like how to challenge those and those sorts of things.
Why 4 Panadol and 2 whiskey is the true form of toxic masculinity. Am I right?
Yeah, maybe you've just given me a song and I'm just going to start there.
You can take it. It's all yours.
Thank you. This is recorded, so I have this on record.
Would definitely recommend getting a painkiller addiction first to really scope out the themes properly and how the real son of a bitch it is. Just maybe become an alcoholic.
The authentic experience.
Yes, Joshua. Why are you drinking beer again? Bulking season.
And a wheat allergy, of course. That's
a wheat allergy. So no wheat beer. Okay, I suppose that's fair. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Malt beer and rye it is then.
Malt beer and rye. Oh, I love it. But I think and definitely experimenting with new sounds is another thing that I definitely want to do. And like layering, like we were talking about, like layering vocals. I'd love to do like a whole song, or a song that's just mainly layered vocals. I think that'd be really cool to try out as well, and like trying different textures and playing around with, what I could be sounding like.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I was going to say, has there been any artists recently that have really grabbed your attention that you sort of like what they're doing sonically, and you go, "Oh, I could try me a bit of that."
Oh yeah, Nina Geraci and Coda Banks's collaboration project at the moment is so like crazily awesome, and it's not funny. I'm already like a big fan of Coda Banks anyway. But like pairing up with her whole persona and like melodies and things that she writes about, and then putting them over like this like super glitchy, almost hyper pop sort of production from Nina Geraci, and like just the experimentation that goes on and is so great. And they just seem like they're having like the best time and the most fun with like what they, like the end result. It's insane.
Because you got to have fun what you're doing. If you're not, what's the point?
Oh man, absolutely. That's why I want to make this my whole life.
Has there been any sort of goals that you've really kicked this year with your music that you maybe didn't think that you would have got, or you really had aim? You're like, I want to do this, and then you have managed to kick that goal, manage to get where you want to be, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, putting that, I mean, I put out an EP, like a little body of work that has been like a big dream. And, I've been able to make more music videos for it. I've had, I've just been able to invest into it a little bit more and create more, like just more things for the like little world that I guess it is. I really love albums and EPs and the whole build a world aspect. So I think being able to do that has been like a massive thing for me. Like knowing like these are the aesthetics that I want, and working with directors and editors down here that are helping me get images out of my brain and onto a screen, and like building this whole thing, I think, has been a massive goal, and really settling into my artistry.
Do you think on building on that point you would ever want to have a go at creating a pseudonym, like a character that is sort of a bit detached from your own experience or even your own personality as a sort of a moniker? I know like David Bowie essentially used to do. And he's the classic example. He'd create all these different characters just to have these different experiences and songs that you wouldn't be able to do for anything else. Like, you think you'd ever want to go into that area or maybe explore concepts that are maybe a bit foreign to what you've had? Like, have you thought about doing any of that?
I think I tried. I wanted to when I first started out back when in 2019, and I released my first song called Circles. The idea was to be anonymous and like do this like sort of like slow reveal and stuff like that. But it didn't really end up working so well. Because I didn't have that like persona that you were talking about. And I definitely thought of different stage names and things like that. But in the end, I mean, I was also watching a lot of artists who started out that way, reverting back to their like original names as well, and like releasing music under their real names rather than their monikers. And I was like, oh, lol. So I definitely thought about it, but I think I mean, like all the songs come from me, and who I am. So I was just like, I may as well, use my name and be authentic and that sort of thing. But then like only using my first name, I think was like part. I guess it's like almost like a half sort of moniker thing, because like Kimbra is only known by her first name. Beyonce, I mean, that's a very different ballpark, but those artists are known by just their first name, and I thought that's really cool because that's who I am. That's what people know me as. So why?
So it's really
why hide? I guess
it's just really just that authenticity that you got to bring to it. Is that it?
Yeah, absolutely.
With everything else that you're planning to do this year, apart from the stuff you've sort of mentioned before, what are you hoping to achieve this year, or hoping to do this year with the rest of the time, all being well,
Well, I'm contemplating releasing another one of the songs as a single later on down the track, and just building that audience is really, really on the cards at the moment. I'm starting to suss out like how I would play things live. Haven't quite got my head around it yet, but we're definitely working on that. So I definitely want to try and be performing somewhere sometime between now and the end of the year. And then just working on new songs.
Just all the fun stuff.
Yeah, all of that. We love that.
Fair enough.
That's why we do this, because we want to do the fun stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the whole point, isn't it?
Yeah. Ditch the J job. That's the goal. Ditch the day job. That's what we want. Fair
enough. Cool. We're actually going to play one of the other songs real soon off the record. It's going to be the recent single, You Make Me Want to Break Things. Now, This one is the closer on the record as well.
It is, yeah.
What's the deal with this one? What do you like about what is it about this song that really stands out for you when you look back at it upon reflection?
It's about just a very specific friendship that I've cut off since writing it, and that's what helped me start writing it. And just having, I mean, what a
brutal way to get that inspiration. Just literally wrecking relationships just for the purpose of the song. That's the true tragedy of a songwriter right there, folks.
Yeah, I mean, it's the real deal, right?
Ain't no fake shit here.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's one of those sorts of friendships where you're sort of they're like it's where it's unequal. So like you're not as like priority to them as they are to you. So like you're trying to put in this time to hang out and do this sort of thing, but then they're not reciprocating, and you're kind of like the backup friend. And I just found myself getting so angry every time like their name like popped up on wherever, Facebook, or they'd message me after I hadn't talked to them in ages, and then they messaged me like 6 months later. They're like, "Oh, how are you going?" And I'm like, "Are you serious? Like, are you bored right now? Because you haven't talked to me in this long, and I've tried, but you're not reciprocating. So stuff it. I'm done." And yeah, I needed to like get that whole feeling out. I'm not a particularly violent person. I like violence freaks me out. I mean, it freaks most people out, but hopefully. And I just found myself getting like so angry that I wanted to like just literally throw things. And then what we were talking about earlier about the whole masculinity thing, I just didn't want to fall into that, angry man breaks things stereotype. So I decided to write a song about it instead.
Fair enough. And I mean, it comes back to the title as well.
Yeah, I mean, I was literally walking. I was just like, I just want to break something. I was like, maybe I should write a song about this instead. I do that. That happens so often. I don't know if other songwriters do this, but like you just go through something and you're like, oh, this would be a really cool lyric, and you just go like going through something like crying, tears down your face. Oh, this is tears down your face. That's a cool visual. I'm going to put that in a song. Breakdown.
I can profit off this sorrow of mine.
Yeah, that's fine. I can do that.
Here's a talking point, Joshua. You talk about masculinity and that, and about breaking stuff. Hulk smash. Is it a facet for toxic masculinity? Do the pundits agree on this one?
Hey, he sorted himself out in the end. So we have the arc.
Yes. We
have the resolution. Yeah. We have the resolution. That's what we want.
So does that mean that if you Hulk is your Avenger? Is he the one you relate to?
Maybe. I hadn't really thought about it.
I feel like I'm the wrong person to ask because I'm not that into the MCU. Is it just sad?
Oh, I was definitely a Batman kid growing up.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness, people leaving. So yeah, I mean, I definitely liken myself more to like that, like Batman Robin situation. But I don't have a favorite Avenger at this moment. I don't think. Okay. I still have it. A Captain America leather jacket. That's pretty cool. Not gonna lie.
Oh, but that one comes out on the first date.
The live show. No, it's the live show. It's a show outfit. It's a show outfit.
Darling. It's either if you can't handle the Captain America jacket, you're just not good enough for me. Sorry.
If you can't handle me at my Captain America, you can't handle me at my real self.
You can't handle me at my Thor. You can't handle me at my Hulk. You can't handle me at my Captain America jacket. Yeah. You're not allowed to touch this leather.
Oh my goodness. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Report back to me once you've got more info.
Okay, no worries. We'll do.
Joshua, thank you so much for coming on. It's been real fun having a good old chat about the EP and everything else.
Oh, my pleasure. It's been super fun to have a chat, and like, yeah, I love talking about it because I've been holding on to it for so long. I'm like, yes, I can talk about it.
I finally can share this.
Yes.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. Again, really good job with it. I'm so happy that you're just as pleased with it as you should be.
Thank you so much.
Where can people find it? Where can people find it? Stream your music. Where can people find your socials as well, Joshua?
So it's up on Spotify and Apple Music and YouTube, SoundCloud, all the good stuff.
Wherever you stream your tunes.
Say that again?
I said wherever you stream your tunes.
Wherever you stream your tunes, it is there. Just have to search up Joshua and Albany. It should come up. Otherwise, there's a link on my Instagram, which is @itsjoshuamusic. And yeah, that's where you can find me.
Yeah, so check
follow
them
my
out.
journey.
So you got the Facebook as well. It's Joshua Music as well. I see on Facebook.
Yeah. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. It's all there.
All that good stuff.
All the good stuff. So much.
Now we are going to finish off on "You Make Me Want to Break Things."
Yes.
I'm so excited. Again, Joshua, awesome stuff. Best of luck with the rest of the year too. Hope it all goes swimmingly.
Thank you.
Hope you break plenty of PBs and personal goals.
Yes, absolutely.
That's the stuff I want to see broken.
Amen.
And have fun bulking.
I will. You too, because you should be as well.
Why don't you introduce us to the song and who you are, Joshua, and we'll I guess we'll play the song.
No worries. This is Joshua, and this is my new single off my EP Albany called "You Make Me Want to Break Things."
There goes my phone, it's only you that counting threads on the rope around my chest. It's so old. You're like a ghost that just won't give up haunting me. You know that I don't believe, so just don't. It's vicious, this religion's got me undone. If I survive this heart of mine, you better run. You make me wanna break things. Your name's the match to my TNT. You're watching me exploding. Premeditated sin, take the win, 'cause I wanna break things. You better run. I wanna break things. You better run. I wanna break things. How do I know it's not a trick you're gonna play, where I lose to you again? I won't be taken in like all those times I was before, when you left me in the cold. I'm alright. It's vicious, this religion's got me undone. If I survive this heart of mine, you better run. You make me wanna break things. Yeah. Your name's the match to my TNT. You're watching me exploding. Premeditated sin, take the win, 'cause I wanna break things. You better run. I wanna break things. You better run. You better run. I wanna break things. It's vicious, this really
AustralianMusiciansRadio.com.